Redditor asks for name suggestions for rescued cat. Reminder. This is BORU. I am not OOP. OOP is you, London Lady 1988. We are nearing tax season. So I decided to grant you an advance by providing a BORU post with lots of cat tax. #original post. December 11th, 2023. My parents are known to take in rescues, and this starving elderly baby was just dumped on our property. Help with a name? We will be going to the vets tomorrow to scan for chip etc. and get these wounds and malnourishment sorted. Either a neutered male or female, and an absolute love bug already curled up on my dad in the isolation room loudly crying thinking maybe a Christmassy name? Picture number 1. Cat sitting next to coffee machine. Picture number 2. All puffy cat on counter next to sink. Picture number 3. Cat eating food out of bowl. Top comment. By deleted user. Latka, the perfect name for a holiday miracle who looks a little fried. Oop replies. Okay, this made me laugh out loud. Editor's note. There were many other great name suggestions. E.g. Eggnog, and Noel. One user asked Oop to name the cat, Eddie, as they had a cat named that way who passed away recently. Oop replies that they already have a cat named Eddie and provides cat tax. #UPDATE number 1. December 13th, 2023 2 p.m. Cooper had a microchip and had been reported missing several years ago. Desperately trying to get in touch with his family. Last night we got Cooper to the vets, and not only did he have a microchip, he had been reported missing by his family a few years ago. He had traveled nearly 10 miles in that time. Unfortunately, the vets haven't managed to get in touch yet, so I'm praying to the cat gods that the details are up to date. In the meantime, we have said we will pay for all emergency treatment and foster him if needed. Good news was though he is very underweight. He didn't look like he had herpes, calci or any other respiratory virus. Instead, his mouth ulcer and weight indicate kidney disease. So hoping he can get back on treatment ASAP. We miss him already. He is just such a cuddle bug, but I really hope we can reunite him with a family who loves him for Christmas. Thank you for all the brilliant suggestions of names. And thank you for loving him as much as we do. I've told him he is a celebrity on Reddit. Cat. Picture number 1. Cat with blanket in box. Picture number 2. Cat. Alert on mini desk. Comment by you, Schnoodle Doodle Doo. I'm thankful for these humans. Something led me to their care. I think I had a family. I don't remember where. Adventures. There were many. All those lonely miles to roam. But now I'm tired. Don't feel so good. I wish I had a home. I wonder if they miss me. Where I used to live before, or maybe they went far away. Don't think of me no more. Whatever led me to this place. I think I'll be okay. I'm pretty sure they love me. And I hope they let me stay. Red Heart Edit. You're a very special human, you, London Lady 1988. I wish you and Cooper the very best. Reply by Oop. Oh my gosh. We got a schnoodle. You are my favorite human on Reddit. And both Cooper and I are very honored to have a poem. He is coming home with me tomorrow. And I will read this to him while telling him how wonderful he is. Love you, Schnoodle Doodle Doo. Red Heart. #UPDATE number 2. December 13th, 2023 10:30 p.m. Cooper is coming home for Christmas. Sadly, Cooper's family don't want him, but we do. Red Heart. The sad news. The vets managed to contact Cooper's original family, who have said they do not want him back and rehomed him 5 months ago. Pretty certain he was dumped. Despite the vet's original assessment that he was an elderly cat, it turns out he is only a baby at 4 years old. However, he is so malnourished he has lost most of his muscle tone and would not have lasted much longer. He has severe ulcers in his mouth and tongue, so is on high-dose steroids. The good news: Cooper has had a full blood screen and appropriate tests, and he is negative for everything including FIV, FELV, kidney disease, diabetes, thyroid etc., and all viral infections. He is going to need quite intense nursing for a slow and steady recovery. But we can collect him tomorrow and he will be safe, warm and loved in our foster room. Time will tell whether he is a permanent resident, but regardless he will be treasured and looked after until he is as healthy and strong as possible. Thank you so much for so many kind words. Still can't believe we got a schnoodle, my parents and I. Appreciate it so much. Cooper is coming home for Christmas, and he is getting the middle name Latka. Tears of joy. Picture number 1. Cat carried by Oop. Picture number 2. Cat next to bowl. Comment by you, Schnoodle Doodle Doo. A very weird scenario, they trying not to judge. But all the while I hoped that from this home I wouldn't budge. I knew I found my hero with this family, just because they took me in and cared for me, and loved me as I was. I know I wasn't pretty, but they saw that deep inside a scared and precious baby. Longed for love, I'd been denied a broken heart. Rejected, now a home that's full of laughter. A meowy Christmas ending, you're my happy ever after. Red Heart Edit. Love to all for this wonderful story. Reply by Oop. We get 2 schnoodles? Oh, we are definitely the lucky ones. Smiling face with hearts. Thank you so much for such lovely words. I'll be framing both and putting them up in Coop's foster room, along with his stocking for Christmas, of course. Merry Christmas SDD Red Heart. Update number 3. December 20th, 2023. Cooper has a broken humerus and needs major surgery. We don't know yet what will happen. Hi everyone. I'm pretty devastated to be writing this update. As many of you know, Cooper is the starving abandoned baby that my family is fostering for our local rescue. In short, Cooper was so severely malnourished he would not have survived much longer. Due to his severe neglect, the vets had thought he was an elderly cat, but he was revealed to be only 4 years old. Even though he was microchipped, his family did not want him, and we were hoping to take him home for Christmas. After a week in hospital due to refeeding syndrome, Cooper finally came home with us on Monday. The veterinary nurses had fallen in love with him, and when we picked him up they had dressed him in a bandana. His recent blood results were great and he has been purring on laps non-stop. I've attached some photos. We had a long recovery ahead, but things were going in the right direction. And then last night my worst nightmare happened. I went to check on him in the foster room, and found him crying with his leg at an awful angle. We immediately rushed him to the emergency vets, and x-rays have shown he has a humerus fracture that will need significant surgery and metalwork. As there is nothing dangerous in the foster room, the vets think that his malnourishment likely weakened his bones, so a minor fall or awkward jump has resulted in this. Honestly, I don't even know if he is strong enough to undergo surgery. It is 2 a.m. here and I'm waiting to speak to the vets in the morning. But I do know that my local rescue doesn't have enough funds to cover it, even if he does. It is likely to be extensive, with costs above $6,000 and then 3 months of recovery. This cat has been neglected, abandoned and on the brink of death, and he is still the most affectionate animal I've ever come across. I desperately want to give him a second chance at life, but completely feel like I've failed him at the moment. I'm dreading the call in the morning if it says he isn't fit enough for surgery. And I'm dreading the call if it says he is, but the rescue can't afford it. It's middle of the night and I'm just rambling and crying. But so many of you sent such lovely messages about him that it makes me feel less alone. Thank you Reddit. Please think good thoughts for co-op. Picture number 1. Cat with scarf. Picture number 2. Cat snuggled up in box with blanket. Picture number 3. Cat being pet by Oop. Picture number 4. Cat snuggling in OOP's lap. Picture number 5. Cat with scarf. Looking alert. Picture number 6. Cat on chair. Picture number 7. Cat next to bowl. Picture number 8. All puffy cat on counter next to sink. Updates by OOP in the comments section. Update. Cooper has been approved for surgery. They have confirmed it is a nasty break, likely because of his malnutrition. We have to wait until Friday until they can operate because he has prednisolone in his system due to his ulcers. And they have to make sure it has gone, but the surgeon thinks they're going to be able to pin the leg. Or in worst case scenario amputate. I've been told he is comfortable and everybody thinks he is very special. I have no idea how I'm going to go about fundraising for his surgery. But right now I'm just ecstatic because I was so terrified they would say he was too fragile to operate on and would have to be put to sleep. I get to go and visit him tonight so I can give him a love. I know I will feel much better when I see him. And Co-op made it through surgery. Unfortunately, this surgeon thinks it is only a 5,050 chance screws will stay in place as his little bones are so fragile. We should know tomorrow whether there is early indication that it has been successful or whether he will need an amputation. My biggest fear is that he would not be strong enough for the general anesthetic, but he has come through okay, though obviously still very sedated and on massive pain meds. We'll be saying my prayers tonight for good news tomorrow, but I am just so ecstatic the first big hurdle is over and wanted to share smile. #FINAL update. February 4, 2024. Remember Cooper, the starving abandoned baby at risk of amputation? Look at him now. Hi everyone. Apologies for such a delay in finally getting around to updating on Co-op. We were a little overwhelmed with how popular his story was, but genuinely moved by the care and interest from all around the world that this poor kitty received. We even have our 2 snoodles framed in the foster room. For those who don't remember or didn't see his original post, Cooper was abandoned and so malnourished he was on the brink of death when he was found on my parents' property, who are known for rescuing animals. He was covered in ulcers and in a very sorry state, but within 20 minutes he had climbed on my dad's lap purring. We have rescued many cats but never seen one who just wanted to love immediately and above all else, like Cooper did. The vet estimated his age originally at near 20 years old. It turned out he was actually only 4, but starvation had made him look like an old man. After his original owner was tracked down via microchip and did not want him. Long story. He was relinquished into the care of Cozy Cats, the local volunteer-run cat rescue that we foster. 4. Because Co-op was so malnourished, he was first hospitalized after he developed dangerous refeeding syndrome. This can commonly happen with starving cats, and why you must get them to a vet's ASAP and b. feed small meals little and often. Then disaster struck. Cooper was so malnourished that when he fell a small height awkwardly, he shattered his leg and his poor fragile bones. It was above the elbow and a really difficult break. We had the option to either put him to sleep or amputate, as the surgery was so expensive, but we wanted to fight for him, particularly as all his other blood tests were amazing and he had been through so much for a cat that was only 4. At this point, I would like to thank everyone who offered to try and support with his surgery. I couldn't share links to help on here, but I appreciated the offers all the same. We went through with a long, complicated surgery to pin his leg together, and he has been on 6 weeks cage rest in a tiny cage to restrict his movement as much as possible. To be honest, his orthopedic surgeon did not think it would hold, and all of us are just so ecstatic he has made it to 6 weeks. His surgeon has recommended another 2 weeks on cage rest, and then he has a few months on room rest to try and build up all the muscles that have atrophied. He is also currently on high-dose steroids and hypoallergenic food to support his ulcers healing. Throughout this, Cooper has been the literal embodiment of perfection. As soon as he knew he was safe, he has just been the sweetest, happiest, most gentle animal I have ever met. I can't believe the abuse and neglect he had been put through. And yet he remains the most trusting and loving soul. Despite getting on 2 months in a tiny cage, all Co-op wants is love, his grub, and then more love. Currently Co-op is officially our foster. When he is well, we will work to do a slow introduction with our current tribe with the desperate secret hope that he will integrate into our family. However, we are taking it one day at a time, and no matter what, we will do what is best for Cooper. Thank you for all the love you have shown him. It got us through a difficult time. I hope you enjoy the slideshow of pictures showing his recovery into a very handsome young man. Red Heart Cat. Editor's note: Oop posts all the pictures of the previous posts, plus new ones. I'm only linking the new ones here. Picture number 1. Cat in cage with open door. Picture number 2. Cat with cone in cage. Unimpressed. Picture number 3. Cat with cone in cage. Unimpressed and meowing. Picture number 4. Cat with fluffy citrus cone being pet. Picture number 5. Cat with fluffy citrus cone curled up. Picture number 6. Cat with fluffy citrus cone in cage. Picture number 7. Cat with fluffy melon cone licking OOP's hand. Picture number 8. Cat with fluffy melon cone. Picture number 9. Cat with fluffy melon cone laying in cage. Picture number 10. Cat without cone standing in cage. Picture number 11. Cat loafing in cage. If that's not good enough, you know establishment. 8,642 comments and lets Oop know that Cooper has a twin. I have Cooper's twin with the same name and the other half of the mustache. Cooper's twin. Oop replies, oh my gosh. It's like the Parent Trap. Together they have a whole mustache. Red Heart: hopefully my Co-op looks half as good as your Co-op soon. Again, this is BORU. I am not Oop. Hashtag please remember the no brigading rule. Do not comment on the original post or PM Oop. Edited to add picture descriptions for our visually impaired readers. Hello. This is slightly surreal to see my updates on my wonderful foster boy Co-op. Full name Copernicus Lotka. Thank you so much for putting this together. Because of how precarious and severe his break was, he has ended up having to do nearly 3 months in his tiny cage to restrict movement as much as possible. However, he recently had his scans and they were better news than we could have expected. His bones are healing beautifully and he has kept over 90% mobility. Looking at him now, it's hard to believe he's come from the edge of starvation and amputation to just a slightly skinny looking long-legged wonder boy. This week, week 12, he has started on day release, starting to have a little outings in the foster room to build up his atrophied muscle and start his physical rehabilitation. All he wants to be is to be purring next to you on the sofa or purring playing with his toys, and he still purrs when you put him back in his cage for naps as we build up on room rest. His surgeon was absolutely incredible and the little local rescue we foster for has done everything they can within their very limited resources to try and give him the best chance. www.cozycatsrescue.co.uk. Getting messages from around the world completely boosted us in the harder patches, and I am so grateful for all the lovely comments that everybody has sent. I'll post some pictures from Cooper's first day outing yesterday, and thank you for thinking of this lovely boy cat. Red Heart. That final update at the bottom made my heart drop. So pleased it's a happy ending. Be well, little Co-op. Oh, his fur looks so much better. By the end of his stay in the hospital compared to the start, longer, sleeker, and more vibrant, his cheeks have filled out. His crest has grown in. Since Oop and her family are so sweet and caring, I'm going to say it. May the people that threw out this sweet cat and any others like them get stomach cancer or some other disease that causes them to slowly starve to death so that they may feel a fraction of what these poor sweet creatures have felt. The only reason I believe in a heaven or a good afterlife place is so that there may be a hell for the scum of the earth like this to receive their just reward. This was a sweet and wonderful post. People like Oop are true and honest people. I hope life keeps looking up for this beautiful cat and this wonderful family. You, London Lady 1988, you and your parents are amazing people. Never let anyone tell you guys different. In case you need it, there's a sub for CKDR, renal cats with tips, advice, recommendations. Also strongly recommend skipping link. It is the Feline CKD Bible and has its own support group. Newer medications and treatments as well as tried and true are on there. I saw the original posts up to Christmas, but had not read the surgery parts. This cat is so fortunate with the people he found. What a handsome boy. How could someone throw out such a sweetheart? This is probably the sweetest and most uplifting BORU I have ever read. Glad to hear he is doing well. I was a bit nervous when I read the part about the broken bone. This is my favorite BORU ever. Okay, I'm going to go hug my babies and give them some treats. Ah, what a heartwarming story. The family that rehomed him are probably one of those that only want the cuteness of a kitten but don't want a full-grown cat. People who abuse or abandon animals are scum. Thankfully, for every one of the scummy people like them, there's 5 people like Oop to help these sweet little babies. Wishing Cooper all the best. Glad to hear this. Give the little fellow a gentle hug from me. He's such a sweet darling, isn't he? I'm so glad nice people with means found him. BC, isn't he precious? What a beautiful lil baby. May he forever find the warmest lap and the nicest pets and the most scrumptious foods. Love you, Cooper. He looks so much better in his latest pics. Thank you for giving him a chance and caring for him. You are a wonderful human and I hope Co-op has many more years with you and your family. Less than 3. I love him. Also, good humans, mostly, in this story, which is really nice. I'm glad I kept this one to read last. He's so cute. I'm glad he ended up with Oop. May the family who dumped him receive the rewards for their behavior. We had a cat show up to our house a few years ago. Malnourished, young, street cat. We took him in, named him Cooper.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.